Hello once again YouTube, Chris and Ibringer here bringing you StarMade Dev Build 1718. There have been some recent additions to the game that will probably blow your mind, and I'm going to go over the ones that I discovered. I have to give credit to Aceface for the discovery of the changes and additions to doors. So thanks to him for pointing that out on the forums. I figured I should do a news update too because this is pretty important stuff, and I like doing it for the important big stuff that happens. So, what has changed to doors? Well, let me show you. There's a bit of changes to hulls as well, and it's all very exciting. So, here in my inventory I have Plex Door, right? And we all know what a Plex Door is. We've all used a Plex Door in the past. You can activate it, it opens, it closes, and that's amazing. However, recent changes include the addition of a Plex Door wedge. Now, I know a lot of you are excited for this. It is not currently functional in the dev build, but it is considered a separate block. Even though it shares the same texture and shape, it is not a wedge yet, of course, and it does not function, but it's in the game, which means that it's being worked on by the developers. So, that's amazing, and I know a lot of people wanted that. It's a heavily requested feature, and that's just awesome. But that's not the only addition to doors that we have today. We also have things like glass doors. Now again, this texture may be a placeholder, and it currently does not function in the game, but it also comes with its own set of wedge blocks. It's right there in my inventory, a glass door wedge. So I'm hoping that this, at the same time that this goes live as a feature, this does too, and I assume it will be because I don't think something like that would be very hard to implement into the game. But that's just amazing, and I can't believe that they actually added more than just one door to the game so quickly. I thought that might take a while. I thought there were other priorities, but that's okay with me. I love it, and I know you guys do too. But last but not least is the final door, and you may already know what it is. Just by looking at the texture, it is a blast door. Yes, that is right. This is a blast door. Now, if I check out the shop, you can see that all these doors are found in the general section at the very bottom of the general section list right before you hit the next category, which is ships. You can find them all here, right? And actually, real quick, let me see if there's yeah, okay, so all the descriptions are undefined still, so it doesn't tell you the stats or anything. I assume this acts similar to armor. But let's, real quick, just make an actual blast door, and of course, it comes with its own wedge, which is not wedge shaped yet, so expect that to be dealt with in a future patch. But this is just amazing. To me, this is just, oh, blast doors, guys. Blast doors. Look at that. That is so cool. So cool. So, with that being said, there are more additions and changes to the game that I should be going over. So, what are these other changes? Well, let me just clear my inventory of doors and I will show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to get rid of all this stuff. I'm going to get the hardened hull and bring it down here, and I'm also going to get rid of this wedge just so that it's not in my inventory. So, we have regular gray standard armor? What? What is that? That's a change. Gray standard armor is now the name for what I believe is regular hull, but I could be wrong because I have not checked the stats and I do not know what the changes fully entail. But it does appear that we are getting a new tier of armor, or a new tier of hull block. So we have the regular hardened hull, which is staying the same name for the moment. That may change in the future, but gray standard armor is here. And we can see that right here, this is gray standard armor. If I take it, you can see the number increase in my slot there, and I can place it. And of course we have the regular hardened hull here. And this right here, while its texture may be a little funky, this is the new gray hull. So I believe this block here was actually added as a new hull, and or armor, should I say, and gray hull is there. So I assume the texture will change just so you can differentiate all these different blocks. Of course, it hasn't been implemented yet, but I would just like to show you the actual list of hulls now, which has gotten significantly larger. Here you can see gray standard armor has moved to the top. A simple hull provides 25% armor, 100 HP. So I'm assuming what's happened is the regular hull that we have now has turned into a regular block that is easily destroyable, and this gray standard armor is the first tier of armor, hardened hull is the second tier of armor. So now we have 3 tiers of different hull blocks. We have a regular hull, which doesn't do much. We have standard armor, which replaces the current hull, and then we have hardened hull, which I assume will stay the same. And don't quote me on that. This is a bit of information that Calibiri has told me at one point or another in the past week or so. So you can see that all of these blocks have been changed over to standard armor, and they have all of their, their appropriate names and shapes in the game already, and I assume that's because all they did was change the name and added the new hull blocks to the game. But if we scroll down, you can see that the hardened hull is still here. And if we keep going, we'll get past the glass where the new blocks are. And here we have black crystal armor. Now, I don't know what the deal is with that, but that sounds crazy. We also have the regular gray hull blocks, and all this is undefined with no icons or specific textures, but there it is. I don't know if black crystal armor is another type of armor. It'd be kind of crazy to think that there's another type of armor being added on top of hardened hull, but it's entirely possible. I don't know if that was just a mistake or not. But it seems like it's there, it's in the game, and again, these are all placeholders. They do not have full textures yet. For example, if I take purple hull, it looks like regular purple hull, but I assume that will change in the future. For now, it has the faction permission module as its icon, which is a bit strange. If we go scroll back up, we will see that black crystal armor blocks have a placeholder texture as well. So it's entirely possible we'll be seeing black crystal armor added to the game as well, and I assume that would be a step up from hardened hull. Real quick, let me just see if I can find, yep, see there's black hull, there's black crystal armor, and then we have black standard armor, and down here we should have hardened hull black. So that means there are 4 different blocks representing hull. That is insane. I did not think anything like that was going to happen anytime soon. But there you have it. And this is supposedly going to tie in with the updates to crafting as well, to make that entirely more streamlined. So stay tuned, because this is an amazing change to the game, and it could really throw up everything into the air and, you know, mess with our heads a little bit when we create ships again. Hopefully, and hear me out guys, hopefully you guys don't go straight for the crystal hull if that's a thing. Please use your blocks creatively and wisely. Don't make things that are just doom cubes with the hardest armor in the game. Understand that these block changes are being implemented so that there is a more diverse way of building your ship, and a much cooler way of building your ship instead of just plating it all in the hardest hull. So, I thank ye for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe for more. I do updates like this every time major updates to the dev build happen, as well as the stable branch of the game. Check out my other sites like Twitch and Twitter and all that good stuff. And I will see you guys next time.